He's in charge of that peanut company at the center of the deadly salmonella outbreak, and today, one congressman gave him a challenge.
It seems like from what we've read, you were willing to send out that peanut base went into these ingredients. And I just wonder, do either of you be willing to take the lid off and eat any of these products now?
What do you think? The other half of that challenge, and word that the outbreak may have claimed another victim.
Farrell's Final Dig at W.
We renamed French fries.
Breaking news today in that nationwide salmonella outbreak linked to tainted peanut products. Health officials in Ohio now confirm another person has died, this victim near Cleveland, and that brings the death toll to 9. Today, the deadly salmonella situation is a hot topic on Capitol Hill. A House subcommittee is investigating the Peanut Corporation of America. That's the company at the center of this outbreak, we're led to believe. The founder and president of the plant appearing before lawmakers again and again, refusing to testify, repeatedly invoking his Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. Lawmakers seemed frustrated. Then came Oregon Congressman Greg Walden, who asked the company owner whether he was willing to eat some of the recalled product. Listen.
In this container are products that have your ingredients in them, some of which were on the recall list, some of which are probably contaminated. It seems like from what we've read, you were willing to send out that peanut base went into these ingredients. And I just wonder, do either of you be willing to take the lid off and eat any of these products now? Like the people who on the panel ahead of you, their relatives, their loved ones did?
Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, on the advice of my counsel, I respectfully decline to answer your question based on the protection afforded me under the United States Constitution.
Here's the thing, if you answer one question in any other way, then that right doesn't stand up, so every question has to be answered in that way. That's how it works. We're also learning that the peanut company knew about the salmonella problems. Do you hear that? They knew about the salmonella problems, not last month or last year, but as far back as 2006. Joining us now is the congressman who offered the Here, Try This challenge to the head of that plant, Greg Walden. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you.
Shepard, good to be with you.
I'm sure you must be frustrated. I wonder how we missed this way back in the day. I mean, are there regulation systems that aren't in place that should be?
I think so. When a test shows up positive for salmonella, the company finds that out because they send out and ask for the test. The FDA is not apprised of that finding. I think that ought to change. I think our inspectors should know when there's a positive test. And then consumers could be better protected.
You know, I've been told there are more than 10,000 sites in that state and no more than a few dozen inspectors. I mean, that has to be part of it too, right?
It does. Certainly the inspection regime needs to be changed. We need to have more inspectors. We need to have more inspections. But at the end of the day, what this company did appears very clearly to have been done with the knowledge that what they were shipping out was salmonella infected. And beyond that, that already violates federal law. You can't send out an adulterated product into the market. And that's why I said to the president of the company, Mr. Parnell, hey, some of what's in this container contains obviously some of your base ingredients. And the panel we had before us, just to kind of flesh it out for you, Shepard, included two relatives of people who died. One of whom was a 3-time recipient of the Purple Heart from Korea, who didn't get killed in Korea, but he died by eating peanut butter. Another was a 2-time cancer survivor woman who died in a recuperation home where she ate peanut butter. And the third was from Oregon. Fortunately, this young child survived, but tragically, when he became sick with diarrhea and all, and they tested him and they found out he had salmonella, it was the very beginning of this outbreak. And so the pediatrician says, well, what does he like to eat? We need to keep food in him. Guess what he liked to eat? The peanut butter crackers. And when they eventually figured out they were linked to this, they discovered, family did, and the state epidemiologist, that half of the packages of the crackers they were feeding their son, thinking they were doing the right thing, contained the salmonella that was actually making him sick.
And for all of that testimony today, the head of that plant was not in the room. And I wonder, Congressman, if one of the things that that is solidified in our minds as a result of all this is a big picture thing, and that is our government cannot check everything that we're eating. It just can't be done. And I wonder how, as a lawmaker and a leader in this nation, how worried you are about our food supply, not just to oversight and people who maybe don't run their businesses too well, but to those who want to do us harm.
Well, that I think is even a bigger question, and one that we actually addressed legislatively with some laws after 9/11 occurred that actually are the way that the FDA does get additional oversight authority to go into some of these facilities. But, you know, Shepard, we've also done hearings on our vitamin supply, our drug supply, as well as fruits and vegetables. And what you find is even worse offshore. We are completely unequipped to do the kinds of inspections offshore for the companies, say in China and India, that are producing the base ingredients that go into some of our pharmaceuticals and certainly our vitamins. And I don't think most Americans are aware of that. I wasn't until we started doing these oversight hearings. We have to change. We have an FDA system that was designed for America in the 30s or 40s, and now we are a global economy where our fruit and our drugs and all
like our power grid, and on and on and on. Congressman
Yes.
Walden, lots of challenges ahead. Thank you, sir.